Morning, fellers. CB here at NBS Welding. The updatification of the current situation is a little more information than I want to text. I can yak on it quick enough and just send you a link. Look, Greg Harris got a hold of me yesterday about the grates down there at the dog pound. When you come into the dog pound entrance, there's a drain that goes across the road. And right there where that drain's at, there's metal grates. And they had to replace some of them. And they got some good grating from Alan Suter that Alan had at his shop and cut it. And they put it in there. And they've had trouble with it bending. And the issue with the grates is that grate, when you cut it, especially when you cut it that short, needs to be banded. And when I say banded, I mean you take a piece of flat bar and you weld on each side of the bar grating to make it a square. Because the way it is now, the only thing that's holding it together in the one direction is the round bars of the bar grating. I can send you a picture. But here's the thing. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and this needs dealt with, and it needs dealt with right away because that's good grating you've got down there. But if they keep bending it, it's going to ruin the grating. I don't want to see, we don't want to waste the grates that's down there. They just need flat bars welded on them. And I don't really think, it's not really likely that anybody's going to be going into the pound between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. And that's why I'm going to try and take care of this right now. Because I understand there could be a domestic dispute or something in the middle of the night that involves an animal and an officer may need to bring a dog in or a cat or something. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run down there. Not all of the grates have to be banded. There's some old cast iron grates there that are already a full square. I'm going to leave some of those cast iron grates and I'll set those where the wheels of a vehicle could drive on them, and I'll use some caution tape and stuff and some jack stands where it would make someone aware that that something's being worked on, that work is being done. And if an officer came down there and had to get into animal control at this time between 3 and 8 a.m. when I plan on knocking this job out, they could drive over the couple grates that I'm going to leave down there. But there's going to be areas in the trough that are open. But it's got to happen at some point. I figure between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. is probably the best time. If there was a time when somebody had to bring a dog into the pound, it seems to me that, if they were bringing a dog into the pound when they were closed, it seems to me like it would be more likely of a night, not this early in the morning. So this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm not going to be coming up to the high school today to work on the bleachers. I'm going to try to get a chiropractic appointment and go to the gym. So I'm going to knock out this job that Greg needs me to get done. Hopefully go to the chiropractor today. I'll go to the gym today, and this afternoon I will be riding a recliner and taking it easy and probably eating a lot. All right, y'all. Later. I got the grates out. There's one thing. I got the grates out. There's one thing is a little bit different than I thought. I'd planned on taking these cast iron grates. These are the ones that I was gonna put 2 of them here and 2 of them here to set that up to be driven over. And I come over here and I realized I pulled on that pretty hard, and those grates are stuck in there, and I'm kind of glad they are. If those grates remain stuck in there, they'll last forever, because those old cast iron ones, they're expensive, but they last. The only problem there ever is with the old cast iron ones is sometimes they'll crack. But if you have some that are this old and they haven't cracked yet, they'll probably last forever. So that means that I don't want to break whatever seal is holding those in there. I don't think they're welded in there, but something's got them stuck, and we probably want them stuck. I'm not going to get a pry bar and pry them out of there. I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to take these things back to the shop, get them knocked out, get them back down here, and try to get this done before, anybody comes here. And one good thing about this size of an opening, it's undesirable to drive over that. But if the officer got here with the animal control truck and had to drive over that, he could. It's not going to hurt that truck. It's not like we're not going across the Grand Canyon here. So the fact that I can't put those over here to drive over like I was thinking is not going to stop me from continuing with the plan that I had in place. So we're headed back to shop. Back here at the shop, set up on the material handler rolling rig with the dual DeWalt 872 chop saws. It's nice having two chop saws. A lot of times on jobs you'll have one set up at a 45-degree miter and the other set up at a 90. If you have a dual rig like this, you can leave the one set at a miter and be able to make 90-degree cuts and miter cuts without changing the angle of the saw. That's one of the things that's really nice about having the dual rig, and these rollers make it nice to handle the material. Down here at the end, I got to stop material. When you're making shortcuts of multiple pieces of material, a lot of times I'll set up a stop, and that prevents you from having to mark each individual piece. And we're probably going to be using the stop in this case. Got some flat bar, and I've got the flat bar doubled because we're going to cut really efficient here, knowing that we need several pieces that are the same length, and there's going to be a flat bar on one side and a flat bar on the other that are the same length. Just as well stack them up and cut them both at once. I'll get a vice grip and stick on the end so that it remains even. So I'll probably mute the sound and put some music on this one, because I'm going to be wearing earplugs, because you're not going to want to hear this saw. It makes a nasty sound. Got a couple grates over here on the fab table, and you can see kind of what I got set up here. It's nice to have a table like this. It's fairly strong. You got a grate that's bent, I can clamp it down there. This isn't something that's got to be string line straight. We're not talking about stretching piano wire across it or anything. We just want it, where it's visibly straight is definitely good enough. And I clamped that down, smashed it with a piece of tubing. I've hit it with a hammer a few times, and that was one of the worst ones. So I don't think I'm going to have a lot of time in having to mess around straightening stuff. I got this other one here where I'm just going to show you real quick how weak this is, because it's not banded. It doesn't have the flat bars on it. You see, when that's not fully boxed with a flat bar, those round bars, the little 1/4 inch round bars that go down and hold the bars in place, that's the only thing structural in that direction, which obviously isn't enough. Obviously a huge difference structurally between a grate that's fully boxed with bands welded on it as opposed to one that without. See, now in this direction, there's something structural there holding that up, holding it straight rather than just those 1/4 inch bars. And obviously, the worst thing about this kind of job is it's a billion little tacks. So I got to get to work. It takes a while. On-site installation here is going just fine. The very last grate down here was a little wide, and I cut the one side off of it. I don't think it needs a band put back on it where it's at. It's going to be fine. The steel underneath of this is definitely showing its age. You know, there's some rust. I did see like where that was broke and welded it. And you see these clips where I've got the grating screwed down in a few spots. That helps a lot where it's not sitting there teetering. And that's a grating clip that's used to hold down this grating. So I've installed some of those. I put them in with a 2-inch steel binder, self-tapping screw. Don't need a whole bunch of them, just nice if there's something there that's going to keep it from moving. And of course, it's a little bit of a deterrent for the scrappers or somebody that thinks that they're entitled to the county's grading. At least you couldn't just grab it and take off with it. You'd need a tool to get it loose. And it was nice. I told you earlier I pulled on that, and those were stuck in there to where I don't think we got to worry about them going anywhere. So that's it for this one. I'll put this video public, but it's mostly for the commissioners and the county people that I've been contacted by maintenance, you know, for them to see, so everybody knows what's going on, and I don't have to explain myself to a half a dozen people. The half a dozen people can watch, and everybody sees the same thing. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and remember what I always say, learn how to work with what you got. That way you always have everything you need.